Hello and welcome to BeamNG.drive. Today I'm doing some Car Olympics. For today there are 6 stunts and 6 contenders. The first is the Legrand Sport SV6, the Vivas 160D CT, the Covet Type L, the Sunburst 2.0 Base Wagon, the Grand Marshal Fleet and the Hopper ZXT6. All these vehicles have in common the same weight per weight per horsepower, so it's about between 9 and 10 kilograms per horsepower. So that's the main criteria for choosing these vehicles. And now let's start with the first, which is the long jump. Let's start right away because we have a quite packed schedule for today. The first, as I said, is the long jump. Okay, let me turn down the volume a bit. Okay, and it is quite simple. The difficult part is just me having to control the slow motion because we need to see a better point of touch with the ground. And let's see, the Legrand is at the jump. Okay, now I'm at the keyboard. Okay, is pointing down, so slow down to 8, which is nice. And let's see. No, okay, perfect. This is the contact we have on the floor, and it is right before the 270 meters mark, and it is maybe, let's try to be the most accurate possible, maybe 269 meters for the Legrand. And okay, let's write it down because there's no way I will remember all these numbers. And towards the bouncing end of the arena, it's time for the Vivas. Okay, don't overshoot the starting position. Let's try to be fair and square as best. Let's see. I did these tests, these stunts with other vehicles, so for these vehicles it's the first time running. Let's see how they will perform. So far we have just one number, 269 meters. Let's see the Vivas. It seems a bit slower because the rev limiter was bouncing quite hard. Okay. Ooh. Flying very vertical, almost the roof is the most forward point. Okay, wait, focus. Okay, landed right at the 230 meters mark, so quite a big difference compared to the what was that, the Legrand, and a big bounce on the floor, and towards the end skidding on the roof and landed. Covet time, let's see. Okay, this in theory is the lightest vehicle, but it isn't very powerful because of course it's light and they also all have the same power to weight ratio. So let's see. It has quite a high rev limiter of more than 7,000, so it can be helpful. Let's see. The speed is a bit better than the Vivas. Okay, flying. Let's see, slow motion time. Okay. And again, a vertical flight and landing, and it is further than the Vivas. Okay, perfect landing, and it's almost 235 or 4. 235, let's say. Yeah, 235 meters for the Covet. Let's write it down, and let's see. A big bounce on the roof and a complete pancaked Covet. That's nice. And stop. Okay, the Sunburst, it is a wagon, but the Sunburst, we know it's a good all-round vehicle. And let's see how it will jump. I don't have expectation because for now we have 2 similar numbers and one quite bigger one. So I have no expectation. I didn't check the other stats for the vehicles. Let's see. We will see when they land. Okay, more leveled, and it is way faster. Oh, 160. Okay, it is almost completely vertical. Okay, let's see, let's judge. I would say 62 seems reasonable, 2 meters. And it is at 262 meters, so it is 7 meters less than the Legrand. Oh, interesting. That's a close one. And final bounce. Very hard. and cartwheeling towards the safety net at the end. Okay, interesting. The Grand Marshal. The Grand Marshal is... I don't know. Because it is the heaviest, so it should have the most powerful engine. The RPMs are decent, in my opinion, more than 5,500. And let's see. It is quite heavy. That's the biggest drawback for this car, but the top speed seems unbothered at this moment. And let's see how it flies. Ooh! Ooh, that's a very leveled flight. Okay. Okay, maybe a bit too early, the slow motion, but better be safe than sorry. Ooh! Oh, okay, okay. Ah, almost. Ooh, almost at the 280 mark. So this is a clear 279 meters distance. Ooh, interesting. And let's go, 279 for the Grand Marshal fleet. Impressive. Impressive. It had the best flight. And let's see the hopper. The hopper, I don't know, it is quite heavy, 1,600 kilos. Not very much less than the Grand Marshal, so it is quite a heavy vehicle. Short but tall. Let's see. Will it fly better? Will it fly worse? Let's see. The last one to do the long jump. The top speed is not impressive. Oh, okay. I was losing a bit of control while going at very high speed. And this is the only one that is going to land with the rear. Interesting, interesting. And boom. Point of contact here. Let's see the wheel. It is 240. No, it's not proper half. Let's see 244. So yes, 244 meters for the hopper. Oof, and a big smash on the rear. So this was the long jump. The winner for the long jump is the Grand Marshal, followed by the Legrand, and then the Sunburst. So I'm taking track of all these results, and at the end we will see the leaderboard. But for now, let's go to the High Striker. It's time for the High Striker. This is basically a vertical long jump, so the top speeds should be similar to the long jump one. There is quite a long straight after the ramp, so some vehicles will lose some speed, we'll see. But at least this time there is a counter built in the map, so I don't have to judge perfectly. So you will see it now. Okay, perfect. In the top left, let's see the Legrand, 136 meters for the Legrand. Interesting, interesting. Now let's see the dismount from the ramp. Okay, it still works. Yes, good enough. Just to remove it from the road. Let's remove the bumpers quickly because they are quite annoying. Okay, let's go. The Vivas. And again, no real judgment of the height because it's the first one. Let's see. There are some vehicles that will lose more speed than others in the flat part. I don't know why. It's interesting because it can hinder the jump. I will see. I think this will lose some because I saw the rev limiter bouncing a lot in the red part. Okay, let's see. The Vivas is scoring 133 meters, slightly. For a millisecond I see 133, so that's his highest point. And can I get out of the way? Perfect. Nice. Covet time. For the Covet, I would think that it adds the most chances because it's light. We have to go high, so weight can be even more dangerous, but once again, the Grand Marshal flew perfectly, so who knows. Let's see. The good thing is that the vehicles like this that have a high RPMs limiter can go quite faster compared to, for example, the Vivas. And let's see the Covet. Covet 142 meters. So for now, the Covet is the best of the jumps. Okay, but I didn't even break the half shaft, so I can reverse out of the way. Slightly, okay, perfect. There is a bumper here. Can I click it from here? Camera, please. Yes, perfect. Bye-bye. Sunburst time. Let's see, the sunburst, whoa, overshot. Let's try to be honest, start from the starting line. The sunburst had a very good first jump, so I think the fight could be between the Legrand, the sunburst and the Grand Marshal, but we will see. We will see. For now, it seems very good, but who knows, there are 6 stunts and we are at the second one. Okay, time for the climb, and we reach the height of 155 meters. So this is now the highest we have reached with these cars, and with a good landing, I'm out of the way for the next contender. Perfect. Grand Marshal time. So the Grand Marshal so far is the winning vehicle. Let's see if it can maintain its position. The acceleration isn't the best, but it doesn't matter. The most important thing is the top speed and how well it can maintain it. And I don't know. Let's see. It has not the highest RPMs, but I didn't even reach 5,000. And I'm losing not that much, actually. Let's see. But this is a heavy vehicle, so probably won't be the best. And 144 meters. Just 2 meters more than the Covet. Oof, wow. That's a very big difference. 800 kilograms more, but it went slightly higher than the lightest vehicle here. Interesting. And now for the Hopper. But it seems like to be the most difficult vehicle here, because at the first ramp I started to lose a bit of control at the bottom. That's not ideal, because losing handling can lead to crashing, and that's not what I want here, because there are no retakes. Okay, oh, as you can see, it wants to go on its own way, and it isn't even fast. 100. Okay, no. I'm redoing this. I'm redoing this because I hate a bumper of the Grand Marshal that I didn't see. Okay. Sorry, Hopper. This is a retake, but because that's my fault, not yours. Okay. I wasn't very fond of the top speed. Very slow. 220 kilometers per hour is not very high. Since we need to go very high to win, that's not the best. Will the bumper disappear? Okay, it's gone, perfect. And the height of 124, only 124. Wow, disappointing. The Hopper so far has been disappointing. Difficult to control, no top speed. But we'll see. Let's go to the stone skipping. And now we are at the stone skipping. Now this is a difficult stunt to give points, because many vehicles were able to overshoot the pool. So if 2 vehicles or more vehicles overshoot the pool in a straight line, they get the maximum points. That's it. Okay, I will stop also accelerating once I'm at the pool. Okay, now here stop accelerating. And okay. The first vehicle already is a clearance. Okay. Interesting. Good job, Legrand. Let's see the Vivas, because the Vivas so far has been not very good. I think it's been better than the Hopper, because the Hopper is very disappointing, but this is not that much better. The top speed is good. However, the rev limiters bounces too much in the red. And yeah, as you can see, it's bouncing to 7,000 and it drops a lot of speed. Now let's focus. Oof. Okay, that's a big face planting. Okay, let's judge the meters. Okay, this part here seems a bit... Oh, okay, camera please. The camera is freaking out. Okay, maybe. I would say 66 meters. 66, yeah, 66 meters for the Vivas. Okay, now I have to yank it out of the way because it's in the landing. That was just a door. That was a door once again. Because it's in the way of... Oh, come on. Okay. Bye-bye. Okay, the Covet, I think, can have a good shout at this because it's light. It can get up to quite decent top speed. so maybe it will bounce out of the water. Just if the Legrand was able to do it, why not the Covet? However, the face planting of the Vivace was quite a thing, so let's see. Ibishu Covet type L at the pool of the stone skipping. Oh, I let the gas a little bit early, but wow! That was very close and with minimal damage, I'd like to add. So, good job, Covet. It cleared the pool. The Sunburst, let's see, because the Sunburst, it is a wagon, but it is not the heaviest of the wagons, just 1,300 kilograms. Let's see. I have no expectation. I would not expect such a face plant from the Vivace. So let's see. This has a similar shape, so maybe it will face plant as well. Let's see, 270 kilometers per hour. Okay, bye-bye gas. Ooh, a lot of small wheelies on the water. Bye-bye Covet. That was a very graceful stone skipping. That was incredibly well executed, and it cleared the pool. So good job, the Legrand as well. Not the Legrand, the what's that? The Sunburst. Now for this, the Grand Marshal, I'm conflicted because it's fast, but very heavy. So I think that we will see another face plant. Maybe not that big, just like the Vivace, but I think it will drown. Let's see, because the speed is there, but too much weight. Let's see. Let the gas. Wow! And I guessed it. That's nice. Will it roll over the 130? Perfect. I'm not touching. Will it stop? It stopped. At about 135 meters. Yes, that's 135 meters. Let's type it down real quickly and move it out of the way for the hopper, because the hopper, that was a very nice removal. The hopper needs a lot of assistance. It's already difficult, so if it can have a clear way, that's better. Hopper, it's your time, and at this point, this is the most unpredictable vehicle. So far, the most disappointing as well. And let's see. Because the top speed is not impressive. And on the water, I suspect it won't be. Oh, and he wants to go to the right for some reason. Let's see. And a complete 180 almost. And landed at, 92 meters. 92 meters for the Ibishu hopper. Okay, 92. So the winners are the Legrand, the Covet, and the Sunburst that will get the maximum points. And then we have the Grand Marshal and the Hopper. It's not last, impressive. And then the Vivace. So it's been quite an interesting stand. So far we're having an interesting competition. I'm really enjoying this. Now we have the roof slider that doesn't have a clear starting line, so I'm choosing this shadow. And let's see. This is also a very interesting stunt. I've never seen this one before in other games or car shows and things, so it's a nice thing. Now we have to get up to speed. We will go below the arena, and then with the ramp we will do a 180 and we skid on the roof. Okay. This one luckily has the counter on the top left, so we just have to skid along and read the final number, which is for the Legrand 147 meters. As well, we don't have any judgment and measurements for this. It is good, it is bad, we don't know, but we know it's stuck in the fence. Let's go with the Vivace that so far is not redeeming itself. It's not going terribly wrong, but it's not doing anything good either. So let's see if at least it can slide on its roof better than others. Let's see. Top speed always not the best. And a lot of speed will be lost in this final part because it's very big climb and bounce on the roof. and we will skid along to 157 meters, so it's 10 meters more than the Legrand. Wow. Who would have known? That Vivas has so far the best distance on the roof. And out of the way, thank you. Covet. Okay, the Covet, I don't think it will win. Simply because it's light, so it will have less momentum from his own weight to skid along, but we will see. I'm doing these ideas, I'm giving these ideas because I've seen other vehicles running, so I can sort of give predictions, but not always. I would never expected the faceplant of the Vivas or the bouncing of the Sunburst, for example, but let's see. And I was wrong because it is 160! Ooh, 160 meters, so 3 better than the Vivas. Wow. Incredible. I have to shut up now because... Hey, stop. Don't go on the landing zone, please. Now, the Sunburst, again, it can be the best. It will probably be in the top, at the top, but maybe not the best. But it is a very good vehicle all around, we all know. Whoever plays this game knows that the Sunburst is a very good vehicle for everything. So let's see if it will be the best for skidding along on the roof. 170 kilometers per hour and exiting at 130. Okay. Overtaking all the vehicles like nothing. 165 meters for the Sunburst. So we are always increasing the distances. So by this trend, the Grand Marshal and the Hopper should finish at the top, but we'll see. The Grand Marshal, it's heavy. If it can maintain speed at the 180-degree roll, maybe it can go farther because it's heavy, so it can skid along more, but who knows. I thought that the Covet would be the slowest, so we never know. We will see in a moment though, because I'm at the flip, and let's see. Doesn't seem promising. Okay, 145. So, not promising, and it is actually the last for the moment. Probably, since it is very heavy, that's a very nice throw by myself. Since it is very heavy, I saw the roof collapsing too much, so it didn't have a smooth surface to go farther. This is just my opinion, and let's see the Hopper. So if I don't lose control of it, maybe this is not the best shape for sliding along. It's very squarey. Let's see. The most important thing is maintaining the control of it, and it's not that easy. Why he wants to go to the right? Yeah, that's what I feared. And 145. So we have both the Grand Marshal and the Hopper at the same distance, which unfortunately is the shortest one. But at least it's the first draw we have in this event. Very interesting. At least it wasn't last this time. Give him that. And we are now at the rollover, and this is where the penalties will start to kick in, because there are 2 penalties points you can get. One, if I don't do a complete roll of the vehicle while in the air after the ramp, and one if I don't end up on the wheels when I'm stopped. So for the moment the Legrand is getting 1 penalty point, and yeah, okay, a penalty point for the Legrand. There is another difficulty in this stunt, and also in the last one I will do, and is that the vehicles will stay in position, because there isn't something to judge the distance. So it will be the ones who are closer to the beginning will get more points, but there is the risk of getting it, just like the Legrand almost did. Vivas is tumbling a lot down the hill, and that's not good, because it's very far from finishing good, and it is also getting a penalty point, because it's not on the wheels. That's not promising for the Vivas try. Let's go for the Covet. Okay, so this is difficult because it's difficult to be aligned with the ramp properly after every vehicle. Okay, at least I got the rolls with the Covet, because the road is twisty, so getting the line properly it's difficult, and this is a lot of bounces, but it's on the wheels, no? Oh no, no, Covet, go back on the wheels. Okay, at least it's back on the wheels, because it's quite far down the ramp. So the Covet at least will not get points deducted from his try. Let's see the Sunburst, the most promising vehicle here. Who knows? We'll see how the wagon will fare this track. Let's see. Oh! Oh, that was almost a bad flip, but it did correctly. Oh, and this is... Wow, so many rolls. Okay, so... I will have to check with the replay, because it didn't seem a proper full roll, but at least it landed on the wheels, because it is quite far down. So I will judge, I will put a slow motion to check the landing, but so far not impressive for the Sunburst, so this is probably the worst one for the Ibishu. Let's go for the Grand Marshal launch. This is heavy, so vehicles in the line of the Grand Marshal are at great risk. Let's see. Oh. Okay, the flip is completed, but I'm skidding along. No, don't start rolling. Oh, stop, 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 stop. Okay. Whew. That was scary, and the Grand Marshal will get the full points. So far, they are quite down the ramp, except for the Legrand, but the Legrand will get a penalty point. So let's go with the Hopper. I'm not expecting good Hopper, just do your best at this point. If you want to participate in a Car Olympics game, don't choose the Hopper, because it is not the best. And that was slightly just a roll. Okay. But it's now flipping. Oh, brakes, brakes. Okay. At least it landed on the wheels, so no penalty points. So I will do a slow motion review for the Sunburst, but so far this is the final classification. So when the Legrand will win, followed by the Grand Marshal, the Hopper, incredible, the Sunburst, the Covet, and the Vivas that will get a penalty point, because it's not on the wheels, and we will see if the Sunburst will get one. But so far, this is the end of the rollover. And the final stunt is the big jump of the Car Jump Arena map. Now, for this, there are 3 penalty points in game. One is if I go past the water line or end up in the water. One if I end up upside down, or at least not on the wheels. And one if the car is broken. So we have to check for all the points at the end of the stunt. Okay, now the Legrand, please stop. Okay, I'm slamming on the brakes. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Okay, and that's already a penalty point, because I'm farther than the water line. So the Legrand did not achieve the best results. Also, it went quite far down, and that's not good, because who gets more points is the one that is closer to the ramp. Now, let's see the Vivas, if it has a redeeming stunt, because it is not the best car for this, just like the Hopper. It will need a good stunt, but this is not what you want, to skid on the roof, because I can't brake, but maybe the sand can be helpful, because there is more contact. Okay, so for now, 1 penalty point, because it's upside down. It will end in this situation, who knows, because cars stay in position, just like the curling and the rollover game we did a while back. Not a while back, just before this one. So there is a chance it can get it and turn back on the wheels. Now let's see the Covet. Hopefully it won't have such a front down jump. It had, and it's sliding on the roof as well. Not the best. So far we didn't have too many nice stunts. Oh, and a roll. Okay, so I can grab the brakes, and at least I haven't fallen into the water yet, so that's nice. And it also recovered the upside down situation, so far no penalty points for the Covet, just a long braking distance. Now let's see the Sunburst. It did have a pretty vertical landing in the long jump, so I'm expecting this to be on the roof as well. And it can have a big smash on the roof. It may be cave in. It can be helpful for the sliding, but it didn't. Ooh, that's... I don't know how to describe that bounce. It was far from ideal, but I'm hitting the Vivace. Maybe. Yes. But none of the two ended on the wheels. So, disappointing round for the Sunburst. It did start good, but the ending could have been better. Now let's see the Grand Marshal that had a very nice first flight. So maybe with this one I can land the jump on the wheels and maybe use some braking power. Let's see the Grand Marshal flight. Wow, look at this. It's very leveled, okay. And slam on the brakes as soon as I slam on the road. Stop! 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 No! 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 Don't go in the water! Ah! Shame. Okay, let's turn off the vehicle because I can pull it out because it's still driving. It's just in the water, which is 1 penalty point. And let's see the Hopper. The Hopper, since all the others are doing not very well, I'm expecting this to be on the terrible side of the situation, but we'll see, we'll see. The good thing is that it doesn't have a very high top speed, so maybe it can play in its favor for this one. Let's see, speed, hopefully it won't, yes, this one kicks back, but maybe, ooh, with the roof caving, it can slide more on the roof and maybe more lose more speed. Okay, let's see. Will it roll? And it will hit the Vivace once again, but it didn't roll. So we have a lot of penalty points here. Okay, let's go in free camera. Okay, so the Hopper technically is the one closer to the ramp, so it will get 6 points, -1 for being upside down. The Vivace next, again 1 point deducted for being upside down, just like the Sunburst. The Covet will be 4th with no penalty points, nice. While the Wendover, not the Wendover, sorry, the Legrand will get 1 penalty point for overtaking the water line, just like the Grand Marshal. So this is the final result, and the Grand Marshal sadly will get 0 points in this because it's in the water. At least it won't go negative because it technically still works even if it's underwater. But anyway, these were the 6 games for these Car Olympics, and now let's go to the leaderboard. And the winner of my first Car Olympics is the Ibishu Sunburst Wagon. Congratulations, with 27 points, he won the competition. He had a very strong start, it fell off a bit in the end, but it was enough to secure the victory. And then we have the Legrand and the Grand Marshal with 23 points each, so that's a tie. But the Legrand won 2 stunts, while the Grand Marshal only won 1. So the Legrand gets second position and the Grand Marshal third. And then we have the Covet with 22 points, a very strong competition as well, and it is the only vehicle that hasn't received any penalty point. So congratulations for that. And then in position 5 we have the Hopper with 19 points. And I have to say I am impressed because it went better than expected while filming it. I thought it was dead last, but it isn't, and it is very close to the Covet. So yeah, but it's still not a good vehicle. It was unstable, so it caused difficulties. So I don't recommend you pick it in case you are doing a similar thing. And then in last we have the Vivace with 14 points. The Vivace was just bad. Yeah, it flew under the radar because I was focused on the Hopper, but the Vivace didn't do anything well. He also scored a 0. The Grand Marshal scored a 0 as well, but he didn't have any good placing apart from a second one in the last stunt. So it was just a bad vehicle. There has to be a last, and in this case it was the Vivace. Anyway, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.